Hey, the YouTube's GunDude73, bringing you a pen video today, and today we're looking at a very cool pen. This is the Fellhoelter Tibolt, and this is how it comes packaged, which is a pretty unique way of doing it. Sort of just pulls apart, and the pen comes right out. And the things that this pen ships with, it comes with a T7 Torx bit, so you can take the clip screws off, and by doing that you can swap out the end for this little stylus nib, and it ships with 3 in total and a sparrow ring. So it's nice to get some, extras for things like this with the pen. Not everyone has a Torx driver, and when you're paying this much money for a pen, it's nice that those things are thrown in. So the Tibolt is fairly unique when it comes to pens. I mean, a lot of pens you'll see are either just clicky, like they click on the end right here, or the cap unscrews like on the Hinderer pens. And this one uses a cool bolt action mechanism. So you see that it just goes down like this, like that. Pen opens and locks for writing, and then you just push it over like that, and it's back to normal. So I mean, it's pretty cool. The pen overall is a nice length. It's about 5.5 inches overall, I'd estimate, and it weighs 1.5 ounces. So it's really lightweight. I mean, most people are used to writing with a plastic Papermate style pen or whatever, like something like this. It's not as light as this, obviously, because this is plastic and this is titanium. But if you're used to writing with this and then you start writing with this, it's not as big of a transition as going from the plastic pen to something heavy like this. So that's nice, And there are a lot of different variations with this, I've noticed. The big difference that you can get is this one is the decorated version. So it has this cool milling around the body of the pen. But you can also get it plain, which it doesn't have these holes or slots milled into it. Not holes, but dimples, I guess. And they're not there. And on the newer ones, they don't say Tibolt right there. That's a Kickstarter only one, because this was originally a Kickstarter project for Brian, so he marked them with this. So I think it's cool, personally. And this one has a very nice stonewash finish. It's very nice looking, very even. It's very beautiful in my opinion. Titanium just has a very nice lustriousness to it, if that's a word. I don't know if it is or not. But I just said it, so that's all. The clip on this is a little, it's not super tight. You can pull it out easily enough. I haven't lost it yet, obviously. It's one of those things where I always check, so when I get up or I put it back in my pocket or I'm leaving somewhere, I'll just pat my pocket and say, okay, I got my pen, let's go. So I don't see any problems there. One really nice thing with this pen, as opposed to other, I guess you could say, tactical pens. I don't know if this would count as one, though. It doesn't have the striking end on it or anything. I guess you could hit someone with it, but you could hit someone with a normal pen, too. The thing is I consider, like, some of the main competitors to this pen to be like the Hinderer pens. They're in the same ballpark in terms of price and quality. With these, though, the Hinderer pens only take the Fisher Space Pen refill. That's all they take. Now, this one doesn't, which is nice. You can throw a Fisher insert in here, but you don't have to. Currently, I have the one that came with it. This is a Schmidt refill. So the thing is if you want to put a Fisher insert in here, you just throw this little plastic end cap on the back of the fill, and you're good to go. So, I mean, this ink is nice because it's a little cheaper than what you'd expect not expect, but what the space pens run. A space pen refill is like $5 or $6, and these are a bit cheaper. I think you can get like a 6-pack for 10. Those Schmidt refills, and then you just screw it back and make sure it's working. So really easy to swap out the insert. It has these little gripping ridges here. They're not as deep as these. Like these can almost be too deep on the Extreme Duty, but these are comfortable. I've done a lot of writing with this pen. As I've mentioned in my other pen reviews, I'm a college student, so I take a lot of notes. So since getting this, I don't know how many pages I've taken. It could be anywhere from like 20 to 30 solid pages of writing by hand. And I mean, that's writing like, from like 4 hours solid, because my classes are lectures and I write down as much as I can. So at no time do I feel, does my hand get tired, Writing that long with something like this weighs nearly 4 ounces. So you get tired writing, it's more to hold in your hand. This doesn't weigh as much. It's really well balanced. You can just write and write and write and write and write some more. So it's good for lots of writing. And in terms of the writing, let me just give you guys how it looks really quick. I just have a box here, piece of paper. So it's like Tibolt. Isn't my handwriting great? But it writes really well. Horrible looking cube. So I mean, it's one of those things where the thing is like you could throw a different insert in here and it'll write completely differently. This is a Schmidt Easy Flow, so I mean, you hardly have to touch down. Like I'm barely touching down with the damn thing, and it's already putting ink on the paper. The space pens, you have to give it more authority. You have to, press down and do meaningful strokes when you write. But with this insert, it just sort of, it's really fast. It's good for writing quickly, but it can get a little messy, at least in my opinion. But then again, my handwriting is fairly messy, so c'est la vie. This back end cap right here is titanium. And what you can do is you can swap it out for the capacitive, stylus nib end there. The only problem with that, in my opinion, is if you look closely here, you'll see that, right here, the line where the cap comes, the cap itself has this like bevel, so it doesn't feel too bad. But when you don't have the cap on there, the capacitive nib end doesn't take care of this line. So the pen body ends, and then the little nib is like here. This edge is super rough. It's like a straight, hard 90-degree angle. So it's very abrasive, in my opinion. It would have been nice if they had taken care of that. But I don't use the stylus nib anyway, so it's not a problem for me. But if you do plan on putting it on there, know that you might want to even maybe sand that lightly, because the bevel is very, very tough on that otherwise, So, something to think about. Overall, though, great pen. They're kind of hard to find. I've seen them sell in the secondary market as low as $130, which is a steal. And I've seen them go as high as $200, $250. The MSRP is $150, however. And at that price, and even a little bit more, it's still a good deal considering what you can get for other pens. Like, for example, the Extreme Duty in titanium is $237, so more expensive than the Tibolt by a good deal. And then the Hinderer Investigator in titanium is $200, so that's MSRP. So again, more expensive than the Tibolt there. And the Tibolt gives you, options for the insert, has the stylus nib on it, but you give up the little striking it. So it's really just a matter of preference. As you can see, I got all three. I couldn't decide. I like them all. So let's get some size comparisons out of the way here. We have the Extreme Duty. and we have the Investigator. So it's a hair thinner than the Extreme Duty. The Extreme Duty is about a ½ inch thick. This is not. And then the just a paper-made pen. So there you go. Overall, it's fantastic. I love it. It's my favorite nicer pen that I've ever owned. And if you like pens, if you're willing to throw down some money on them, and you don't have a Tibolt, get one. They're really sick. I mean, there's just nothing quite like it, honestly. I mean, I've written with the cheapo pens forever. I just started getting into these nicer ones, and this is a really, really nice one. Writes really well, it's comfortable, the mechanism is great. What more can you ask for? So, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.